Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Trail Runners of Hong Kong, China podcast. It's just me today because Michael is on holiday in the US where the time difference is a bit tricky to arrange to chat with him. Just quickly, in case people are wondering why I'm interviewing Jacky about his record breaking challenge in 2021, over 4 years later, it's because I saw the Four Trails movie for the fifth or sixth time a few weeks ago. I took my daughter because she hadn't seen it yet. She's been away studying in the UK. And I realised that Jacky was speaking Cantonese in the movie. And I thought that now he's been living in the UK for a few years, his confidence with English has probably improved a lot. And maybe he's got the confidence to do an English interview. So I asked him and he said yes. And it happens to be really good timing because the Four Trails documentary featuring Jacky has just been released in the UK only last weekend, and he attended the premiere in London, so he was able to talk a bit about that too. And my interview with Jacky is followed by a wrap-up conversation that I just had with Andre Blumberg, and it's always good to hear his wisdom, so you might want to hang on at the end to hear what he had to say in reaction to things that Jacky was talking about. So I'm sure you're going to really like hearing from Jacky. So sit back, get comfortable, and enjoy. Hello, Jacky.
Hi,
Welcome
Jenny.
to welcome to the Trail Runners of Association Hong Kong China podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much.
How are you doing today? I hear you had a big weekend.
Yeah. So I had been in London for the Four Trails premiere, and happy to see a lot of audience there, and they were very supportive, and they gave me so many positive feedback. So it was fantastic.
Great. So do you think it went down well in the UK?
Yeah, I think so. I think for the feedback from London, I think for the word of mouth, maybe more and more people they really want to see. Not only the Hong Kong people they went to watch, even for the local UK people, they also appreciate the movie. So that was really quite encouraging actually. And at the same time, they really appreciate the scenery and also the trail, how amazing it is in Hong Kong.
Yeah, fantastic. So do you think that the audience were mostly people from Hong Kong or maybe the trail running community in the UK?
I think in London, among the audience, maybe 70% are the Hong Kong people. And then the other are the local UK people. Some of the questions they ask about are really quite trail running related. So I think yeah, the majority are the trail runners
Hmm.
or hikers. Yep.
Yeah, or maybe they heard about it through the trail running community as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it was part of the Hong Kong Film Festival, so I suppose it would attract people who are interested in Hong Kong related things, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, they kind of miss Hong Kong, so it's a really good therapeutic movie for them.
Yeah. Do you think people who've never been to Hong Kong can connect with the movie just as much as people who know Hong Kong very well?
Yeah, I think the film really connected people quite well. Yeah, and even for my colleagues, they really want to watch the documentary. So yeah, hopefully it will introduce more about the best Hong Kong side to them and attract them to go for some hiking there.
Yeah, it could be a big pull for the Hong Kong tourism, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I think the Hong Kong Tourist Authority could really make use of a lot more the trail running races. I mean, promoting the
Yeah,
scenery
I think so.
overseas.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So, did you have a Q&A after the film showings?
Yeah. So it was quite interactive and also quite yeah, with such a very good feedback
Mhm.
after the film inside the Q&A session. Some of them are really asking about the difference between UK and Hong Kong trail running, how my perception and how I try to keep the trail running hobby or practice here. So it's kind of interesting questions. And also my answers also gave them some encouragement so that hopefully maybe some days we can just go outside in the bad weather also, or just showering weather to do some trail running together. So I think, yeah, it's kind of quite mutual supportive and also quite encouraging.
Great. So how did you answer those people with the question about how you've managed to continue trail running in Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I mean in UK.
In UK, yeah. So I told them that I did some long day trail running practice this summer because of preparation of PTL, and then I told them that I try to keep my running around my hometown. And then during the weekend, I went to Liverpool to find Law Kai Pong. Then we drove the car to Snowdonia for the long day back to back. So it's kind of a long weekend training camp, something like that. So it's the most effective one. And so hopefully it will give them some direction how to keep the training of trail running. So I obviously felt a lot of London, Hong Kong people, they really frustrated about how to get to the mountains or how to sustain their training routine in such a not so convenient places, and at the same time maybe the weather is quite changeable. So yeah, hopefully it really encouraged them.
Great. I know that where you live in Glasgow, you have some very good hills, not very far away, but
Yeah,
obviously it's a bit further away than when you were living in Hong Kong. But Ben
yeah,
Lomond is a very good place to train.
exactly. Yeah, so I think I am quite lucky to get very accessible mountains there. So yeah, I think this is one of my reasons why I stay in Glasgow.
Yeah, well then that's not really luck. You chose there because you knew it had some good mountains nearby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so back to the movie. Has the success of the movie changed anything for you? Like when you come to Hong Kong,
Mm.
do strangers congratulate you in the street?
I think not the street, but the trails. So definitely when I came back to Hong Kong for several times, definitely some people could identify me on the trail and then ask me for a photograph or even just with a little chat. So it's a really interesting phenomenon after yeah, after the popularity of the movie. So and yeah, it was quite nice to meet some new people always. Yeah. Mhm.
Do you think the same thing might happen in the UK as well if the movie is successful after it goes on the
No,
channel?
no, no, no. I think it's most probably is the post-screening chatting in London for last 2 days, and maybe sometimes more online feedback. So, for example, they share the stories of their watching for trails, and then usually I would just send them a message to thank them for supporting, and then it's more like the online interaction there. So. I don't think I would be recognized on the street, and also yeah, with a little chatting about for trails on street or even on trail. It's just too big here. Yeah, so let's see after the routine broadcasting or screening after the end of November. So let's see what's happening there.
I know what you mean by people recognize you on the trails, but not on the street, because then there is some context. Even trail runners might not recognize you walking past them in the street. Then when they see
So
you running.
uh, not really on street, yeah, but trails is quite common.
So, apart from being recognized in Hong Kong, has the success of the movie changed anything else for you?
So it's not really changing my life, but I think it's more like encouraging me to keep moving on. Uh, because after the four trails in 2021, and then 2 months later, I migrated to UK, and I suffered from the seasonal depression, and also had kind of low moments for a few years. And then once I watched the movie again and just reassume my own identity as a trail runner, and also to encourage me to keep moving on for other mountain passion and also mountain projects. And at the same time, from other runners' story inside the documentary, for example, for Will and also for Licky and also for Chang, they just show me that they did not really care about the age, but they just keep trying, taking the challenge and just try to keep chasing the dream. So I think that this is really a good model for me to keep going, no matter what kind of status I am. So I think this is very important message for myself.
Yeah, that's incredible, and also it must remind you what a talented athlete that you are.
Thank you.
Okay, so as people who've seen the movie well know,
hmm
you were the first person to break 50 hours
hmm
in the Four Trails Ultra
hmm
Challenge,
hmm
which most people thought would be impossible.
hmm
And to me, that seems to be the result of a lot of hard work over a number of years, plus
hmm
perfect pacing during the
hmm
event itself. Yeah,
hmm
in the movie, you called yourself insanely lucky, or
hmm
that's how your Cantonese came across in the
hmm
English
hmm
translation.
hmm
So how did luck come into it? What did you mean by being insanely lucky?
I think when we, the ultra trail runner, participate more and more races, I think we understand that it's not our wish to be not able to finish the race. And it's really due to many reasons. So I think the digestive issue is one of the silent killer, and sometimes maybe the joint problem or the muscle problems. And I think I was really lucky that I had a lot of good quality training with my trail running students at that time, and also our high intensity session was really facilitating me how to deal with the body stress better, and so that I did not really had a lot of low moments during four trails that year. I think the only low moment was in Wilson Trail. That is kind of sleep deprivation or kind of lacking of energy, maybe because of due to lacking of eating enough calories at that time. But luckily, once the sunrise came in, and then when my body saw the sun, and then it just restart the engine again, and then everything just back to normal. So I think that was really lucky that I could really rebound from a little low moment at during the Wilson Trail. But even for me to participate other trail running events, sometimes it's not really able to bounce back from the body issues. So that's why I think luck is so important in trail running races. Even for Tom Evan, the current UTMB champion, he also did not finish UTMB for last 2 years. So it really tells that although maybe so many good athletes out there, but sometimes just with a little body issues just can ruin the whole races. So I think, yeah, breaking 50 really need a lot of hard work. At the same time, a lot of luck, and it's not really guaranteeing a fast runner able to break 50. So it's really many factors coming together at one point. So yeah, so I still think I was the luckiest person at that year. Mhm.
Yeah, I agree that there is some elements of luck in trail running, but
Mhm.
also, yeah, I don't think you can say it's luck that your training was really good.
So that's a really good foundation for the training, really. So I really miss that quality of the training. So I wish to, yeah, hopefully to get back to near that intensity of training in the future again.
And do you think there were any elements of
Mhm.
the Four Trails Ultra Challenge which you were ideally suited to, such as the extra long distance or the low-key atmosphere, or the fact you only got a late entry meant you put less pressure on yourself than maybe somebody
Mhm.
who'd been training
Mhm.
for a long time with the goal of
Mhm.
breaking 50? Do you think that that particular event
Uh-huh.
made you more lucky?
Yeah. Actually, I intentionally to submit my application of the 10th anniversary for trails after it was full, actually. So I intentionally put myself into the waiting list. But uh, at the same time, because I knew that I would leave Hong Kong for good in a short time. So that at that time, I tried to train hard in order to train up my trail running students so that they can just carry on their career in Hong Kong. So during that moment, I concentrate on training for the Hong Kong 100 virtual. So I really had a good quality of training at that time. And then afterwards, I got the invitation from Andre to participate it. So I think it's kind of perfect timing with a strong training foundation. And at the same time, I know that that would be my last four trails before my migration. So that yeah, it's kind of to refresh my memory to join the four trails. So it did not really give me any idea to do any breaking 50 this kind of stuff. I just want to go through all the trails again, refresh my trail running memory for 16 years of racing in Hong Kong, and then yeah, had a really good memory before my leaving Hong Kong. So I think that's really my intention or motivation to join in, and so it's kind of encouraging. So I did not really suffer or feeling any pressure at all. And at the same time, because I had no interview before for trails, so I know that I was not on the spotlight. So it's really good so that I can have a really good rest. I don't really have to go through the noises from the social media. I just turn up, showing up on the start line, and then just yeah, keep running. And also not really many camera are around me, and not so many people to interview me during the for trail. So it's kind of making me more focusing on my own body feeling, also my pacing. Yeah, being low key is quite important for me.
Also, am I right that you're one of the later ones to start that year when they had the staggered start? So you
Mhm,
kind of started it at the back, and so then nobody
mhm,
really realised that you were in the lead,
mhm.
close to the lead, because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
started 20 minutes behind
yeah.
Solomon and Stone. I can't remember how many minutes it was.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that took some pressure off or some spotlight away
Yeah.
from you as well?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so even this is the discussion of me and Robin and also the host of the premiere screening. And because of the separate start time, so did it really gave the impression that I was being the last person or not the front person all the time. Robin also said if we all start the challenge at the same time, maybe I would be at the front all the time and get more footage of the movie. But I think for the separate start time, and I was the third last person to start, is really gave me a lot of peaceful time. I do not really have to think about how to shorten the gap, how to chase people. But it would be quite bonus when I could see every single runner in front of me, and it really gave me a lot of psychological advantages, because I would feel lesser and lesser pressure during the challenge. So yeah, I think it really helps me.
That one I can see it was a little bit of luck.
Thank you.
Do you have any other reflections on your achievement, looking back on it from a distance of a few years?
So I think I still consider that I was a messenger for that story. So what I mean is Solomon, Tom, Bong, and also Stone Zhen, they were really good runner. They were really top elite in Hong Kong, and their training statistics really showed that four of them were the one to break 50 without any hesitation or no doubt at all. But at the same time, I was the luckiest person to able to do that. I think I have kind of a mission or the passion. I have to really encouraging other people with my own story. It's not because I could break 50, but I think it's more like how I could prepare that challenge, how I could really endure the toughness during the challenge in order to encourage other people. They can try their own challenge according to their body limits. So it's more like I got a good story, but at the same time, I had the mission to try to make it more relatable and to encourage other people to try to carry on their challenge, and also encourage especially for the migration people, encourage them to keep moving on, and try to remove all the barriers which avoid them to keep doing the trail running, or to avoid them having a better life in the future. So yeah, I think after that few years, just with my own migration experience, it's kind of very good matching or a good package to tell some good story to encourage people. I think this is what I feel for the last 2 days premiere also.
Fantastic. And
Yeah.
I think actually you breaking 50 even without the movie would have been a great encouragement to your students that
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can aim higher than you think you can achieve,
Maybe.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So actually, after I broke 50 hours, then I really initiated 4 in 4 challenge ourselves during the hot Easter holiday. So I just try to use that format to show that even for my students, they may be thinking it's not possible to do all 4 trails in one go, but they can still have taste how to manage back-to-back 4 in 4 challenge themselves, and hopefully that would just give them a spark maybe to finish 4 trails in one go one day. And yeah, luckily I got few students they really completed 4 trails in one go during 2023. Yeah, so it's really encouraging to me also.
Wow, which ones were those that were your students?
So Wang Gagit, 4 trails finisher and a very low key runner. So he finished the challenge around 57 hours. And then another Alphas. So he was survived for 61 hours. So still fantastic. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very happy for them. And for Karen, one of my former students, although I did not did the 4 trails training with her, but she did great. And also for Ruiza, so both of them completed 4 trails as a survivor in last 2 years also. So yeah, I feel very inspirational for them, and also very thankfully they could really take on the challenge and also break through their own limits.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So during the 2021 Four Trails
Mhm.
Challenge, you knew that you and your family would be leaving Hong Kong soon
Yeah.
afterwards. So it was like you said, it's like a farewell tour of all the trails.
Yeah.
Is that the main reason why you felt so emotional afterwards, or were there other reasons?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really complicated emotion during that time. Actually, I when I approaching to the post box, I was smiling, and then I know that that would be my last trail challenge in Hong Kong, and I had no idea whether I would come back Hong Kong for any reason in the future. So I felt quite sad that I have to leave my favorite hometown with my all good friends here, good trail running community here. So it's really sad farewell. And also, I did not expecting that I could really achieve a record-breaking moment in my life, because I was not a champion runner in my racing history. I usually to be podium, maybe second, maybe third, but never be champion. So that's why at that moment I felt so surreal, and thinking that why I was so lucky to able to be the fastest person that year, and also able to do the first breaking 50. So yeah, one end is I was at the top of my career, but at the same time, I know that I have to leave the glory, leave Hong Kong very soon. Yeah, but life is that, sometimes if you can run and you have a healthy body, you have those peaceful time, you can enjoy running. Just do your best. Don't waste that time, because for myself, never know what's happening in UK, and I did not really expecting I got seasonal depression, or even got a very low moment for years. So that really impacting my running career, or my running um, habit. So, but anyway, sometimes really have to just go through the low moment, and then have to really refocus and to find the true desire, the true passion of myself, and then restart myself again and try to remove all the barrier. I think that's a really good lessons, and yeah, and at the same time being more independent, especially in UK environment, because it's not that easy to get a strong community to get involved in, unless I live in Lake District. Otherwise, so difficult. But anyway, it's a really good journey for myself.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear. I'm sorry to hear that you've been suffering from seasonal affective disorder.
Uh-huh.
I suppose also in summer, like it can still be very, very rainy and dark, right, in Scotland.
Yeah. Not really dark, but the windy condition and also the showering is no forgiving. So but anyway, I had a really good new perspective after the PTO training this year. So I knew that I can just spend a good weekend with Law Kai Pong, and so that we can just enjoy the trail together, and at the same time we can share the feeling of our lives in UK, so that we can just support each other, and to keep moving on with our own trail running passion. So yeah, that's kind of a good uh, evolution or good moving on.
That's really great to hear. Before I ask about your latest race, just to finish up the questions I had on the 4 trials.
Yeah.
So you've seen the movie a number of times now. I don't know how many times. How many times have you seen it?
So 11th.
Oh wow. I need to catch up. I've only done 5 or 6.
No need.
Do you still feel very emotional every time you see it?
Yeah. During the Q&A session in the premiere, I also share about that my tears still coming down on my face when I watch the film again. So I think it kind of really emotional for myself to see myself touching the post box, and also it was really touching to see someone's story, and also about some encouraging quotes from Lucky or from Will. So it really gave me so many energy after I watched the movie.
Great. Yeah, I feel energized by it as well when I watch it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. In the movie, you mentioned that you took a photo when you were on Sunset Peak near the
Yeah.
end of the challenge. Do you
Yeah,
still
yeah,
have that photo?
Yeah, I still have that photo. And sometimes when I did the interview with the media, or even with some friends, they also asked me about whether I kept that photo, and answer definitely yes. And it's one of my favorite photo. Seems to be I also post it in my IG, but it's just part of the story of the post. So it's not easy to find that in my IG. But even some friends asked me to share the photo also. So I did send them, and yeah, hopefully to showcase that treasure the beautiful scenery of Hong Kong. Yeah, it's absolutely world-class scenery.
Is it possible you could share it with me so I can put it in the video of this podcast?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, I can send you later. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, great. Andre, I asked Andre for some questions, and
Okay.
he sent
Yeah,
me he
yeah,
sent me a few.
yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
has anyone shared with you any deeply personal reactions to the movie and
Hmm.
how it impacted them? Because
Yeah.
Andre has received a few of those.
Yeah. So I think one of the most impressive feedback from the audience was during my premiere screening in London. Because a pair of couple, they just came to me and then just said I was so fantastic to did the running. But at the same time, they share about that they were not runner. They were not the people who do exercise, but they really feel struggling with UK life because they were also one of the BNO visa Hong Kong people who migrated here for a few years. So from their face, I really saw they're struggling also, because it's kind of not really the happy face. It's kind of really tough face. And so they said they really got a lot of energy after watching the movie. And also they asked me, did I really get suffer from the new UK life? I said yes. And I had a really low personal time for years. But now I had a new passion to do other projects. So for example, maybe to go to Alps for some races, maybe for some mountaineering. And so I asked them to try to think about other goals or anything they really want to do, and try to shift their focus on that goal. And then they might suddenly find the barriers in front of them is not that big, and they can just going around those barriers and having a better mindset, or even having a better emotion. So I think yeah, that's really deeply impacting them after watching the movie, and they really share that they really feel the energy and feeling the positivity again. So I think it's really therapeutic, especially for the people who really suffer from anything from their life at the moment. So yeah, I really happy to have more sharing or interaction with the audience, so that Yeah, I think it's not just to showcase how tough we as the trail runner, but I think more people really want to know how to be even tougher, or even how to switch their mind to a more positive mind to break through other barriers. So that's really important. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true that the lessons from trail running about challenging your limits, really apply to a lot of other areas of life
Mm.
and stepping out of your comfort zone and things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Another question from Andre.
Okay.
So now that you've lived in the UK for a few years, has
Mhm.
that made you appreciate anything unique about Hong Kong which you didn't realize when you were living here?
Yeah, definitely. So nowadays, I always tell the people that Hong Kong trail running or the life in Hong Kong is just world class, just so fantastic. And what I did not realize is the accessibility. Although every single elite runner came to Hong Kong, they all have few common things share about Hong Kong trails. So one is massive stairs, and the second one is they can just catch a cab or a taxi, and then just having a 20 minutes traveling time, and then can get to the countryside. So this is one of the thing I really understand now, because every time when I have to go to Ben Lomond, although I am really lucky to have such a big mountain close to my home, but I still have to drive for 45 minutes. It's okay, but it's not really comparable to Hong Kong that I can just jump into MTR, I can just jump into the green van, green minibus, and then I can just get to the countryside without any driving, so I can save my energy during traveling, and also the cost of traveling was low. And so I think that's really making a Hong Kong trail running training is really friendly, and it's not really having considering your economic status. But in UK, I think it's kind of like a middle class activity, because every time if we have to do a training camp in UK or a long weekend training in UK, we have to consider the accommodation. Even we can do the camping around Scotland, but the sleeping quality inside the camp is not good. It really affecting the training quality. But in Hong Kong, we just have to go back to our home, have a nice shower, nice dinner, and then have a sleep, and then we can go on the trail the next day. So it's another story. So it really save a lot of cost in Hong Kong, and also for the time, because of the convenience of Hong Kong, so that we can just go to the trail in a really short time from our home. But here in UK, if I really want to go to Glencoe, I have to drive for 1.5 hours, and also maybe 2.5 hours to Ben Nevis. So it's really a long journey. So you can think that for the return trip, I have to spend 5 hours on driving, so that I really have to spare a lot of energy during my training. I cannot be too exhausted, otherwise I cannot drive myself back home. And also for the safety, because it's really remote and also very wild UK mountains, and so that if we really get any injury, if we are on our own, and then we have to wait for maybe 5 hours for rescue, for mountain rescue. Provided that I got the signal, I can call the mountain rescue to come. But in Hong Kong, it's really convenient that even the ambulance, they can just get onto the road. They can just go to the Tai Mo Shan very easily. They can just go to the Mount Parker very easily because of the concrete. So it definitely able to save people's life very efficient in Hong Kong. So yeah, I think safety, time, the cost, the weather also in UK is just really changeable. It's not that easy. We can just go outside without any consideration, and we have to really carry a big backpack to get all the warm layers, to get the waterproof gloves with us in case of any bad weather condition coming. And But in Hong Kong, it's just hot and super hot. So we can just only take some money, take enough water, and then we can just refill our water at some intersection point, and also we can just buy some refill from the kiosk. So that's really making the trail running training in Hong Kong so easy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's made me feel better about going out in the heat and feeling like it's a really, really tough slog.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you really feel the same because I know that you came from UK, so I think you really understand what I mean.
Yeah, well, I haven't been to the UK in the winter, but I've done some trail running in Scotland, and there was one time where I was running in summer in the Pentland Hills that are near Edinburgh. It was a sunny day, and then rain came in, and it suddenly got cold. I had some warm layers in my bag. By the time I got them out, I already got so cold and I was too cold to get the gloves on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So it's always the big mountain condition, but in the lowland of Scotland. So I think it's not easy to adapt, but once able to adapt that, I think the physically and also the psychologically, I feel really strong to tackle other even tougher condition in other country. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say though, when it comes to accommodation in UK trail running areas like the Lake Districts, I know they have some really amazing youth hostels. I don't know, have you stayed in the youth hostel yet?
Not yet, but I saw the price. Yeah, it's kind of friendly, but
they're very good as well. They're very clean. You can get a hot meal, and they also have the amazing thing is they have like a drying room. Some of them where you can hang the wet things to dry so that they'll be dry before the morning.
Okay. I should try that. Yeah.
But a lot of them get booked up in advance. So I went in September where I only found one place that was available at short notice.
Yeah,
so I just stayed.
At all.
I just stayed in the one place that was available. But if you have somewhere in particular you want to go, then you need to book at least a few months in advance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very popular. Too popular. Yeah.
Yeah, but they are very good and very good value.
Yeah. So I have to really do some research and book in advance. Yeah.
So I know that you've done a lot of work to get more comfortable with the winter conditions and get more skilled in mountain safety. So how did you get involved with the mountaineering safety training?
Yeah, so why I get to the mountaineering is really because of the seasonal depression. I had no clue how I can endure or even to get outside during winter because I think I really need to be outside so that I just search around the course to learn how to do winter hiking from the recognized organization. So they had a really good coaching or one-day workshop how to use the gears during the winter condition. For example, crampon, ice axe, and how to pack our backpack. For example, we have to carry 2 to 3 pairs of gloves. Although I didn't know the why, but nowadays it's really common practice for me to take the spare gloves, even for UTMB races. So it's really good learning. And so now I was happy to know some Hong Kong friends here who were really good climber or good mountaineer. So I could really get some good sharing session from them and to learn how to place the climbing gear inside the cracks of rocks, how to set on the knocks, how to set on the rope, even the abseiling. So it's really building up my mountain experience. And also I really enjoying to join the winter course, mountaineering course in Scotland, because one of the famous places is called the Glenmore Lodge. Although I still not yet getting the chance to enroll the courses there, but my friend always recommend me to go there. So I think this winter I probably will enroll some courses at that place. But before that, I went to Glencoe for some other winter climbing course. So it was really good, and I had a lot of practical tips and also practice. So that really made me more confident how to be able to set all the safety gears to protect myself during my winter climbing. And thankfully, although Scotland, the weather was so miserable or so unpredictable, but I understand that it's really a perfect training ground to practice my mountaineering skills here because although the mountains, the highest mountains here is just Ben Lomond, just 1,345 meters. But because of the steep terrain of the mountains, because it could really kill people every year, really get some bad mountain accidents. But at the same time, it's a really easy accessible mountain. And at the same time, with a really challenging terrain that I can really practice the skills. So at the same time, it's not really high altitude. So making the training more friendly. And so nowadays, I really appreciate the value of Scotland and why people like winter mountaineering in Scotland. So yeah, making me more appreciating where I stay in. So I think it's really lucky for me to have such a big playground.
Yeah, fantastic. Do you think it has any potential benefits for you doing mountain races or even winter races like the
Yeah,
Sky?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So this is another why I really want to take on PTL. For PTL, it's 300-kilometer races, not races. It's also a challenge. So I have the limit time of 151 hours, and it have to be using the Via Ferrata. Have to pass through the glacier. So we have to carry on the climbing equipment. We have to carry the crampons. And so I think this is one of the reason because I had some years of mountaineering experience so that I know that I had the ability to try to take on other challenge. So for example, PTL. So this is really a good foundation for me to try to explore other mountain activities. Definitely helping.
For people who are not familiar, what does Via Ferrata mean?
Sorry. So Via Ferrata is a climbing style. Some metal bars are just being placed by the people on the very technical terrain. So usually, if no that kind of bar, we have to place the climbing gear to climb up. But because of the safety, maybe, so the people put the metal bar on the very steep rocks or cliffs, and then we have to use a lanyard, so which is a V shape with the carabiner. So we have to clip the carabiners on the metal bar, and then we push the carabiners forward. And then once we have to change another metal bar, we have to unclip the carabiner and then attach to another metal bar and just keep going until the end of the Via Ferrata. So at the same time for the climbing, maybe some metal steps are already just implanting at the rocks. So we have to step on the metal bars and using the Via Ferrata, the lanyard, just to climb up in this kind of style. So it's very common in alpine condition. So this is one of the terrain criteria in the PTL. So we have to learn that, we have to practice that, and yeah, but that's really fun. So really encouraging that the people visiting the Alps races maybe take some time to try some Via Ferrata activity at that area. It would be quite fascinating and also very amazing experience.
Do you have to wear a helmet as well when you're
Oh
doing Via
yes, yeah,
Ferrata?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have to wear the harness, the climbing harness, and also the helmet. It's actually to protect our head from any rocks falling from the top. Because maybe with the partner climbing at the top, maybe other people climbing at the top, but accidentally maybe a rock fall from whatever reason, maybe from the human, maybe just naturally. So the helmet is really important to protect our head from any rock fall from the top.
Got it. Now let's move on to the Alps. So did I spot on social media that you climbed the Matterhorn shortly before PTL? Was it the
Oh
Matterhorn?
yeah, exactly. So yeah, August was my Alps project months. Unluckily, we did not make it to the top. We could only make it to Sophie Hut, which is 4,000 meters, because of my fitness issue, also because of the team issue. Because at that point we have 3 people, but we have only one rope. So at that time, we have no reason to keep going to climb up. And also at the top, the weather was changing and become very windy. So that we decided we have to pull the plug at the 4,000 meter, and then we have to descend. So that was a really good experience. And I know that I have to really keep on my physical fitness. Otherwise, I cannot enjoy those alpine projects in the future. So this is one of the reminder why I have to keep trail running in my daily life. So that's really important. Not only to participate races or to get a good performance in races, but I really have to keep a good fitness so that I can enjoy other alpine activities.
Definitely. But going to 4,000 meters may have caused breathing difficulties from the altitude, even if you were perfectly fit, right?
Exactly. So I think next time I would like to do the acclimatization a bit more longer. So yeah, it would definitely have a different story. But anyway, it's a really good learning. Even for PTL, I think I still have to do the same preparation weeks before that, so that I can get a really good acclimatization.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with everybody is getting enough holiday time from their jobs for working
Yeah.
people.
I know. Yeah.
Especially if you have a family, you can't really use up all of your annual leave on acclimatizing before races, right?
Yeah. So I think another good side of living in UK is the flexible working hours, and because I work part-time, so I can really have more flexibility to get the long weekend and able to get a cheap flight ticket to France to do some Alps traveling or even hiking there. So it's really the advantage when I stay in UK.
Yeah, that's true. And you don't have jet lag issues that people traveling to
Yeah,
the Alps from Hong Kong
yeah,
have.
exactly. Yeah.
So, how many days before your race did you climb the Matterhorn?
So actually, I did not really continue the journey in Europe for 4 weeks. So actually, I just spent 5 days around Zermatt, so the little town just at the bottom of Matterhorn. So it's just 5 days at the beginning of August. And then I came back to UK for 2 to 3 weeks of working, and then took the flight back to Chamonix for PTL. So it's kind of separate journey. So yeah, I don't have too many holidays in between, so I still have to work. But it's really gave me the convenience from here to travel to Alps.
Yeah, great. I was wondering because you made a social media post with that together with your PTL photo, so
Oh
it looked
yeah.
like you did it as a warm up for the race.
Yeah, it was my plan, and also I think it's really a good heavy loading training because I have to really carry a big backpack with mountaineering gears inside, and also with the high altitude. So I think really a good taste for me before PTL. But I think it's not that enough for my PTL. So next time I know that I really have to take 1 week before the PTL.
So yeah, it was great to see photos of you and Pong teaming up for the PTL, which I know is a team race.
Yeah.
So tell us how that race went for both of you.
Yeah, okay. So January was a really happy attempt, and even now I also still think about the journey at that time. But unfortunately, I had a lot of issues during the first day. So at the daytime, I got heat stroke because it's kind of 30-degree at the top of mountain, and also no water source at the top. So I have to really refill my water from that pool there. So actually, the water could not be drink. But because of no water, I have to really get it as my spare water. Although I still have another 500 ml clean water, but I know that I have to still get some spare water with my filter. So yeah, it's kind of tough at that time. But luckily, we know that we were at the top of the climbing, and also we descend and then saw a big stream at the bottom of the mountain, so that we just refill the clean water there. But I think I really suffer from heat stroke and also dehydration at that point already, because I have to suck up the full 500 mils immediately after I get to the clean water. And
That's really
then
surprising.
yeah. And then at the night time, the temperature just dropped immediately under 10 degrees Celsius, so that we have to wear all the warm layers and even for the waterproof layers to keep ourselves warm in the high altitude. But in the midnight, I vomit for the whole night, and then I have to get into a survival shelter in the wild, have a really good quality of sleeping for 30 minutes. And then I was shaving to wake. And I know that we have to keep moving. And then I also brought a stove so that I heat up the water, and also to make myself a nice ginger tea, try to solve my stomach issue. And it worked. And also I could eat a little bit purry after the ginger tea. But it's just enough energy for me to get to the hut safely. But we know that we lost a lot of time at that point. So we finally missed the cutoff time at the checkpoint for 5 minutes. But if I can really get into the cutoff time before the cutoff time, but it doesn't mean that I can really have a smooth journey afterwards, because I already could not eat anything for the whole night, and also I really lack of energy. So I think I cannot really keep eating, and we take the energy again for another big climb. So maybe this is not my year. Maybe I have to do a lot of better preparation before, including the training of my gut. So yeah, so this year I have to go back to racing again in order to get used to the stress in racing condition, and also to get my body adapting to the high calorie input better.
Yeah, that's a really good point, that trail runners need to do that. It's not just about physical fitness, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but definitely it's although I felt disappointing, even now I feel very sorry to Bong, because he is so fit. He took care of me the whole time. But at the same time, I really felt grateful that I could really able to step up on the start line, because PTL was one of my dream. But at the same time, I did not have any execution plan before, because while I live in Hong Kong, I don't think I have the holidays to try PTL, because I work in special school. So we have to be there for school years. But now I stay in UK, I have the chance to participate in PTL, so I feel already very grateful. So I am born already think about next year again. I will still keep trying until I get to the finish line successfully. So that's my really big desire, big passion, big mission, big goal.
So was it just you that had the vomiting problems, or was Pong okay?
He was really okay, so just me. So yeah, so that's why kind of disappointing that I ruined the team efforts. So yeah, it doesn't feel good at all. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, we just had a really good journey. We had a lovely time in Chamonix. We saw a lot of happy faces of our friends to finish the UTMB series there. So it was fantastic vibes and also just to retreat, have a really good retreat for ourselves. Yeah, we kind of able to get back the identity again, just as I said from what I get from Four Trails movie.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm glad to hear that Pong wasn't vomiting because I think he vomited enough for a lifetime during the Four Trails challenge.
Oh yeah. But nowadays, he is super fit in UK. Yeah, for his Snowdonia, he did 17 hours, so which is really fantastic. So I'm glad that I could really have a good training summer with him. Although my fitness was far behind him, but at the same time, I really got a good standard of training or a good standard of pacing from him. So he's still very helpful and very inspiring to me. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Maybe I will see him again in October.
Great. It's kind of good to hear that he had a good experience in the PTL and you were the one suffering rather than in the Four Trails. He suffered so much, and you seem to be fine at all times.
Yeah, but he also shared that because I was suffering and just wandering or just walking on the trails in PTL, but he also shared his experience of Four Trails because he also said that he just suffered a lot on Nantai Trail, so he did kind of the same, just vomiting, diarrhea, just walking that for many hours on Nantai Trail. So he definitely gave me a good encouragement at that point because he already gone through all those tough moments. So he really understand what I suffered. So he did really give me a lot of support. And yeah, although sometimes it's not really verbal support, but from the gesture, from his waiting, he really did his best with so much empathy there.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a really good idea for that race to be a team race so that you can support each other.
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, do you have any trail running goals for the next few years? I'm thinking that everyone knows that you still have the potential to achieve a lot more great things in the sport of trail running.
Yeah, so in November, I will come back to Hong Kong. So I will participate Lantau 50 and also the Trail Walker. And next year, the big goal must be PTL again. Yeah, so this is what in my mind. And I have to get the UTMB index so that I can enroll another time Snowdonia. So this time I want to try 100 miles. So but first of all, I have to get a 100K race with the UTMB index successfully first. Otherwise, it's just talking. So yeah, I have to get back to racing because I have to get some index so that I can have a good training in the racing as my preparation for PTL.
Yeah, well, I hope we can see you back to your best trail running form soon.
Hopefully.
It's been great to chat to you, Jacky. I think I've taken enough of your time. So
yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for making time to talk to me.
Yeah, no problem.
Especially about events that happened quite a while ago, but there's still a lot of people in Hong Kong have interest to hear about your reaction to the movie.
Yeah.
Because the movie has only recently come out.
Yeah, thank you so much for you to remember me. Yeah, so that's really good.
Well, I happened to see the movie again a few weeks ago, which made me realize that you're speaking Cantonese in that movie, and maybe your English is more confident now that you've been living in the UK for a few years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So even for the premier Q&A session, it's all conducting in English media. So I know that English is my improvement here for a few years. So yeah, I can definitely feel that. And even for me to watch the movie, I can just listen all the conversation without watching any subtitles.
Great. Yeah, I've got one last question, which was that
Yeah.
I first met you when you were hanging around the finish line at the Green Post Box. You were standing there for like 12 hours after your own finish,
Yeah.
waiting to cheer other people. I
Yeah.
mean, actually, I think your English was quite good back then.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But anyway, how do you manage to stay awake and still have an enthusiasm to chat to so many people after you've had so many nights without sleep? Well, actually, maybe
So
not so many nights because you only did it in 50 hours.
But I think my body is quite awake during daytime. So I think once my body, although my exhausted body or my very tiring body, once passed through the sunrise time, and then my body just automatically switch on again. So I think it's kind of natural caffeine inside my body for the daytime, and at the same time because I still enjoying the amazing experience, and also still a lot of stimulation or interaction with other people. So I think that kind of interaction really keep me very awake. So I think this is one of the challenge when you take on the four trails on your own, without any music, without any people to talk with. So it's kind of difficult to keep self awake. So I think this really make a big difference with people talking to you or without any people around you.
I see. Also, you had nobody to talk to for all those hours, and then suddenly you had lots of people to talk to.
Yeah. So that's why, I have to be really have a good thinking mind in order not to speak any wrong words. So that really keep me awake.
Well, that was really amazing to see. If we hadn't heard about your achievement, nobody would have guessed that you had been awake for 2 nights and had just run 300 kilometers. So.
Yeah. I did not expect to, so it's still surprising me.
Yeah, and I want to thank you again for your generosity when you took me and my daughter trail running in Ben Lomond when I came
it was really a good memory. Yeah,
it was really fantastic, and my daughter has really been inspired to do more trail running.
that's good. Yeah, and also glad to see your daughter graduate already.
Yeah, she finished university. Unfortunately, she's been too busy to do much running. And then she had a bad ankle sprain in June and hasn't been able to run in the summer, but I'm sure she will get back into it soon.
Yeah. So, hope that she will recover soon and also get back to running as soon as possible.
Yeah, me too. I miss her as a running buddy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's really important.
Yeah. Okay, Jacky. Well, thanks again for your time. I'll say goodbye now.
Thank you so much
Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Hello, Andre, and welcome to the Trail Runners Association of Hong Kong, China podcast.
Hi, Jenny. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. So good to see you. I know you've listened to or watched the interview that I did with Jacky, and I don't know about you, but I was just kind of blown away by what a powerful impact that the movie has had on his life and many other people. And I just wondered whether you ever imagined that your low-key challenge would ever, indirectly impact so many people, including non-runners like Jacky describes.
No, definitely not. Thank you for having me on. And I didn't think about any of that, and that was never the really intention when I first embarked on this little adventure back in 2012 on my own. So 4 trails over 4 days consecutively. The format was different back then. And it's quite amazing to look back over the last 14 years and see how the challenge has evolved and how it has grown in recognition, and not just in Hong Kong, not just with ultra trail runners, but way beyond that. And certainly the 4 Trails film has contributed to that. Really very grateful to Jacky as well that he's come out to the screenings in the UK and that he makes the time for that. And I think he's really, in my eyes, a hero of 4 Trails in terms of the first time to break 50 hours and I think more importantly, the way he's gone about it was a very humble approach, and he came late into the event, and I don't think was ever outspoken about a particular target time. I think he mentioned to his crew split timing, but he didn't add it up. He didn't run any Excel as far as I know. And even in the film and even in your discussions, he talks about that he's lucky. And I was thinking, well, luck maybe plays a little bit of a role as well, but certainly he's been also very well prepared. And he had a 12, 15 year consistent trail running and ultra running history before the event, going into the event. So I would say train hard and get lucky.
Yeah, I like to say put yourself in the place where the hard luck can find, where the good luck can find you.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's also great to see that the release of the movie has been instrumental in helping Jacky get back into trail running and continue inspiring others as well, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure it was not easy for him and his family to move over to the UK, and I think it took him a bit of time to sort of settle in. I'm really keen that he found his place. I'm really very happy that he continues with adventures, with activities. It doesn't have to be trail running. Obviously, the seasonality there doesn't maybe make that easy. And so the mountaineering that he's picked up, for example, I think it's fantastic. And I'm also really great to see, the community of participants at Four Trails is quite tightly knit, especially people that have completed it, and to see them meet each other at other events, at other races. We have this finisher WhatsApp group where all the finishers get added, and sometimes photos come through of people meeting each other somewhere in the world, and I really find that fascinating and great. Likewise, Jacky and Pong, both are finishers, and both are in the film. Both have emigrated to the UK. For them to do the PTL event together, I think is also really great. So I think the challenge is more than just an event. It's not a race, it's a challenge. And I think it forms also relationships and companionships and friendships that outlast for a long time.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And did you see on Instagram, I think it was Liu Fai Lok shared a video of himself jogging somewhere near Chamonix, and he came across Jacky Leung. So that was really nice.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
I thought it was also great to see that the movies had a kind of therapeutic effect for Hong Kongers who have emigrated, or maybe even expats who have moved back to their home country, not only for nostalgic reasons, but they've been inspired by Jacky's story of navigating his own journey and finding new ways to pursue his passions, like pivoting into mountaineering as being a great way to get outdoors. I'm sure that will inspire a lot of people, and I think it probably took him courage to actually talk about that publicly. And so I really love that he's made himself a bit vulnerable in order to encourage other people. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think what Robin and Ben Lee have done with the film is really a masterclass. Obviously, to us at the beginning, when it was released locally in Hong Kong in cinemas, we knew it's going to resonate with runners. We knew it's going to resonate with locals to some degree. But I think nobody had anticipated that the film would be so successful. And I regularly get messages on social media, on LinkedIn or in person, from people that have nothing to do with trail running and ultra running, but that I know of me, and they say, well, I've finally caught the film. I was on a flight and I saw it at Cathay Pacific in flight, or I've seen it finally in a movie, a theater, be it in Hong Kong or be it internationally, as a film gets more widely internationally shown. And so much positive feedback from people, and people saying, well, it really made me think, it really motivated me. I'm going to go back, and I take my children with me. I want them to watch it. And there are many people that have watched it not just once or 2 or 3 times, but 5 times, 10 times, and some even more. So I think the story is great. The participants are relatable and very diverse, but it does such a great job as well to showcase what Hong Kong looks like and what Hong Kong is about. And the scenery, the natural parks, the mountains, the beaches, and everything being very close and proximate to the city. Again, which is something that Jacky referred to, and he said, well, when you live here in Hong Kong, you sort of take it for granted, and you know how practical and easy and safe everything is and efficient. And then when you move somewhere else, you actually realize, oh, Hong Kong is really special. And Hong Kong has all that diversity. It's a great big city. It's a financial services hub, but it's also got all the other facets that you can enjoy. So I think this is something that a lot of people that have left Hong Kong miss. And that's, I think, the reason that the film is doing exceptionally well in places where a lot of people from Hong Kong live nowadays, either in Canada, either the UK, or other places. And the film will go into a UK-wide theatrical release at the end of October and will go through cinemas there. I don't know what the detail schedule will look like, but I'm sure that will be revealed in due course. So, and UK is probably the place where I get most requests from as well. Again, on social media, there are 5 to 10 requests every week. When is it coming to Country X or to City Y? What is the plan for my country? What is the plan for my place? And so again, it's a documentary. It's something that Robin and Ben Lee have done on a dime, on a shoestring budget, on their own budget, and it's really quite remarkable to see. So I'm very proud of both of them for the film, and I think it does just, as I said, a great job to showcase what Hong Kong is about, the nature, but also the can-do spirit of the participants.
Yeah, that's true, and especially the scenery in Hong Kong and everything. I think that the movie could do more than the Hong Kong Tourist Board to promote Hong Kong as a hiking and trail running destination. Do you think?
Yeah, and I think initially when the film was completed and it was initially premiered in Hong Kong back in early 2023, we did invite officials from tourism sector and so on, and there wasn't a lot of feedback. But it's great to see that now the government is actually very supportive, and the Secretary for Sports, Culture, Tourism is very supportive, and also the economic trade officers, the ETOs in the various countries around the world are very supportive, and in some cases also host screenings as well to invite trade partners and other stakeholders from Hong Kong. So I think that's really great to see. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it does, as you say, a really good job. And Cathay Pacific has recognized that. And I spoke to Ronald Lam a couple of months ago, the CEO, and he was very excited about it. He's an avid hiker, and I think it's fantastic to see it on Cathay flights.
Yeah, and in terms of accessibility of the trails here, that's actually how I initially contacted Jacky in Scotland, because I initially just messaged him saying, do you know any of the roads that are accessible by public transport? Because that was the end of the pandemic, and it was a time when you couldn't rent a car for any price in Scotland because the car rental companies sold their fleets during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And almost everywhere was a 10K hike or run from a train station before you even started on the trail. And Jacky said, well, I'll take you to Ben Lomond if you want, which just shows what a generous, kind person he is as well.
Yeah, he's a fantastic guy, and he's come over to Hong Kong maybe 2-3 times a year, and he's been very, very generous, as I said, with his time as well to join local screenings and Q&A in Hong Kong, sometimes on his own, sometimes with Robin, and sometimes the 3 of us, and so on. And I think the film also resonates with children and schools as well in Hong Kong. So a lot of schools have put on private screenings. There are all these amazing stories. So there's a couple of screenings which the physical education teachers have put on out of their own pocket for their students in primary school and early secondary schools. Some of the district council have put on screenings and booked out a 250-seat cinema for school children. And in that context, it was a specific awareness around mental health for school kids. And as you will know, we unfortunately have a rising number of people that commit suicide in Hong Kong, including school children. The film was considered as a platform to share with kids, but also with people of all ages, I guess, in terms of looking at positive aspects in life and giving examples of challenges and difficulties that people embrace and are faced with and have to overcome. Now, in the film that is running, but obviously it can be anything else. It can be your school tests, it's school pressure, it could be a family, it could be job, it could be your relationship, it could be anything. And so this is, again, back to your very early questions, I would have never ever expected this little adventure would lead to this. It's really great to see, and hopefully we'll continue to see the film being used in private screenings and so on, and to continue that story. And people like Jacky that are then also openly talking about it, I think makes it just much more relatable. It's not just a film, it's just not just people that are seen on a movie in a cinema, but these are real people. They're not actors. They're people from all walks of life. It's a documentary, it's not scripted, and it's all genuine.
Yeah, that's amazing. I had no idea about the school issue. That's fantastic. So Jacky is a fairly humble guy, as you said, and he saw himself in a different category to elite athletes who seemed more likely to break 50, like Stone, Salomon, Pong, and Tom. Do you think that's accurate based on his results before the Four Trails Challenge?
I think he is a little bit too humble there, and as I said, when he went into the event in 2021, already a good 12 or 15 years of quite consistent background. And Jacky was one of the people that were one of the very, very early ultra trail runners. So when the Hong Kong 100 emerged on the scene as, I think, the first solo 100K distance event, and I'm emphasizing solo because obviously the Oxfam Trail Walker have been around for forever. Which I think Jacky also has done multiple times, including very fast times or maybe even course records at the times, I can't remember. But when the Hong Kong 100 arrived, then I think Jacky was among the early group of people that participated in it. So he has a very long history. He's obviously also a coach, and he has coached many people, including people that participated in the Hong Kong 4 and 4 or the 4 Trails. And so I think he's a bit humble there. And maybe he hasn't necessarily won races outright, but he's always generally had very strong finishes and strong results. And I think that multi-year, a decade plus experience also prepares you then to do well at an event like Hong Kong 4 Trails Ultra Challenge. And
that's a good point.
He had just done it the year prior, where he did finish as well, right? So, and I had no doubt when he applied and when she got a slot, I had no doubt that he would finish again, given all that history and given the fact that he had finished before. I think he did it just a year earlier in 2020. So, but I think as the film, and no spoilers, articulates and showcases very, very well, I think he has sort of exceeded everyone's expectation in terms of what he then achieved during the event itself. And I think the way he went about it in terms of pacing very, very well and quite conservatively initially, but also pacing very consistently. So to do, I don't remember what it was, 10 hours, 15 or 10 and a half hours on Lantau Trail after 220 odd kilometers already behind him is just, it's just remarkable. I mean, a 10 plus hours finish of the Lantau Trail is a really good time on fresh legs. And I think it's not just the fitness, but also the experience that he had and has, whether that's nutrition, whether that's navigation. He has obviously known the trails very well, but also if you have ups and downs in these long events when the stomach as challenges and so on, how you overcome those, and then just to keep moving forward and not give up. And so I think that all has helped him, and it does take that preparation as well to be successful at a 100-mile event or longer.
Yeah, good points. And I actually looked up his results on the DEV website and compared with some of the others to see if there were any races where they were racing against each other, and the results are actually all pretty similar. So although he didn't win any races, big races outright like the others did, he was 1 hour behind Solomon in a couple of big races like the 2019 50-50, the 2017 Hong Kong 100, and he finished ahead of Tom in the 2015 Lansar 70 and ahead of Stone in the 2018 Hong Kong Trail Running Championships. And so it's not like he was always a long way behind those other guys.
Exactly. Yes. Right. And it's a very, very competitive community here in Hong Kong, right? So I think that's something that we all need to remember. There are so many people here that have decade-plus experience, and there are also so many new people that come into the sport. And I'm not so active myself anymore certainly not in terms of racing. But I'm just amazed how the sport has grown and how many new people that I don't recognize at all are doing really well and winning events. And the season is about to start again here in Hong Kong in earnest. And it's really good to see that people get out and about and enjoy the sport.
I was wondering, have you seen an uptick in applications for the Four Trails Challenge since the movie came out?
A bit of an uptick, not maybe as much as I would have thought. But then again, I think we need to remember that the film has so far primarily screened in Hong Kong. And I think sort of the addressable market, the audience is in Hong Kong is pretty aware of the challenge already. And maybe is also aware how difficult the challenge is. And now I think we're just at the cusp of the film going global and screenings in overseas locations. So I'm sure that will trigger interest. And I think there's a bit of a delay impact as well between the film coming out and then screening in Hong Kong first and then internationally. So I think a lag time of 2-3 years, I think is quite normal and also good, because what I have seen in terms of uptake specifically is people that watch the film and are actually quite naive about then applying because they have just no idea what it really takes. And so I've always had every year there is the odd 1 or 2 application where they haven't even done 100K, and I say, well, I really like your essay, really like your interest, but you got to go back and you need to build up for this. The Four Trails Challenge is not something you do with 1 year of training coming in green, and you need to build up to it over a couple of years at least, or over many years to be successful. Some people have been able to complete it with just maybe 3 or 4 years of running experience, but that's probably the exception, and it's probably also, I probably wouldn't recommend it as well. So I think you should probably have at least 5 to 8 years of solid experience. So I've seen some applications recently after the film came out. I have done a marathon 8 years ago, and I really want to do the Four Trails now. I said, okay, great. So, this is a trail run, right? It goes up and down. It's not on the road. It's not marked. And it's really long. So why don't you complete a 100-mile on trail first? It can be any official 100-mile. It can be anywhere in the world. Just finish it in the cutoff time. You can pick the easiest one if you want to. Not that I would recommend that, but, and then you come back and apply again, right? And then they go silent. So, but I also feel obviously a moral and a very strong safety obligation, because the challenge is very long. It's very difficult. There's sleep deprivation involved. There's no course marking. And whilst everybody's wearing a location tracker and phone is mandatory to be calling for emergencies, it also will take and does take preparation and relevant experiences to participate. So that's why the 100-mile, at least one, ideally a few trail events is mandatory. So I think some people are really, their imagination is captured by the film. They're getting very motivated, and some of them I think are getting a little bit ahead of themselves to really understand what the challenge entails and how difficult it is.
That's funny because I've been with people who I've gone to see the movie with, who their reaction is, well, I'm definitely never ever going to try that. Even people who might be physically capable of it, because the movie does a good job of showing how much suffering is involved. It doesn't show all the suffering, but obviously it shows quite enough suffering to put a lot of people off.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, it's funny when when Robin and Ben take the film to new locations, and then they go through the regulatory screening and the age grading, so PG-12 or PG-13 and so on, which every film comes with when they are formally released. And we always have a chuckle when these gradings come out, and there are usually two elements why it does have a minimum age grading, and one is the flavorful language of Chang, and the other one is sort of some of the suffering and Pong's quite vivid injury and seeing him being stitched up as well. So this is not normal, the injury obviously, and I think what Pong has done is just unimaginable. But I think the film does show that people fully exhaust themselves and literally crawl on all fours up Lantau to move forward.
Yeah, it has a strong impact on people either way. I'm wondering how many times you've seen the movie yourself now, or have you lost count?
I definitely lost count. Yeah, I would estimate between 2 and 3 dozen times since it came out in early 2023 locally. There was the initial premiere, and then there were a lot of sort of smaller local screenings in not in cinemas but in other venues. I've been very privileged to join quite a number of Q&A sessions as well, mostly locally. I've done one in Singapore a couple of weeks ago as well, and it's always really great to see people that watch the film and then have questions. And Robin and I have done many of these together, and schedule permitting, sometimes he does them, sometimes I do it with Ben, sometimes I do it alone. I don't watch it every time when I do the Q&A. So sometimes I watch maybe the tail end of it, sometimes I do watch the whole one. We've also had a private screening that my employer, CLP, has kindly put on, so many of my colleagues were able to watch it, and we had a Q&A afterwards as well. I know the film really well now, but what I found fascinating was maybe the first 5 or 6 times when I watched it, there was always something new in there that I hadn't picked up on earlier. Because actually the storytelling is very dense, and there's a lot of detail in there that when you watch it maybe just once or twice you may miss. And obviously the film prior to the cinema release has gone through a lot of edits as well. But even since it's been in the cinemas, not now anymore, but the first 5, 6 times, there was always something that I picked up that I hadn't realized before. It could just be sound, background sound, acoustics. It could just be what someone says, or certain nuggets that Robin has put in that then only make sense in hindsight. And maybe that explains why some people watch it more than once.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been back a few times, mostly to take people that haven't seen it before to go and see it with them.
Thank you for that.
I enjoy watching it. Wondering whether you plan to ever run the 4 Trails Challenge yourself someday. I know that you're very busy behind the scenes doing lots of things, but do you think that it will be feasible to arrange somebody else to do that kind of thing, and then so that you can try running it yourself?
Well, would I like to do it? Yes. Am I anywhere near ready for it? No, absolutely not. I've unfortunately not really kept consistency up in terms of my own training and running. I'm just focused a bit more on work at the moment, and for the last few years. I still would like to give it a go one day, but it will need, for me, in the state that I'm in, it will probably need a good 2 to 3 year gradual ramp up and preparation, because I don't want to do it just on a whim. So if I do it, I would definitely want to do well as well. I think the organization of the event is not the key deterrent. I think it's more sort of my own preparedness, and not just the physical fitness, but you really need to want to do it. If that's not in place, then you will likely also not be sufficiently physically prepared, because then you have excuses in training and other things. So it's a very, very significant commitment that you need to make, and I'm at this stage not quite ready to make that commitment. But never say never, as I say, and the trails are always there, and I may hopefully one day do it, and I'm sure that many alumni will be keen to organize the event in that year and put it on.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I mean, there are lots of other examples in the running community of people that have given their career a higher precedence for several years, and then they've managed to get back into trail running. So I hope that happens to you at some point.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep you too long and make this podcast too long, but I've got one more question for you. So Hong Kong Four Trails Ultra Challenge is completely uncommercial, although we hope the movie has been or will be commercially successful. So I assume that means you're not very keen on the commercial side of trail running.
I wouldn't say that. So I am not keen for the Hong Kong Four Trails Ultra Challenge to have any commercial element. I'm very clear on that. I also have deliberately no commercial interest in the film, which maybe I regret a little bit now, given that it's been so successful, but I've always wanted to keep that really separate. And, as soon as money is involved, I think things change. And I welcome participants that do the challenge to do it for a charity of their liking. That's fine. It doesn't determine whether people get a slot or not. It doesn't matter. But the challenge itself doesn't support a charity as such. And so I like to keep that separate. But I don't have anything against commercial races. I think they are necessary. To put an event on is complex, costs money, costs time and effort. And I love that there are so many events and races that are on in Hong Kong, and by now with the expansion of the sport globally. So I've done many of them in Hong Kong and around the world. So there's nothing wrong at all with commercial races. I think what I probably prefer for commercial events is those that do strike a balance and not just there for commerce, but also give back to the community and maybe to charities or to runners that may not have the financial means to travel internationally. And I know that Steve and Janet at Hong Kong 100 have a similar ethos and have done this for many years to support local runners, to sponsor runners to fly in. I've personally sponsored previously runners to participate in events like Hong Kong 100 as well from other Asian countries who were not able to pay for flight or hotel. So I think if there is some balance like that, and if there's some giving back to the community, I think that's probably the sweet spot. It shouldn't be seen as a charity in itself to put on a race, because it does take so much effort and time and so on. And events that are at large scale, Hong Kong Four Trails is a very, very small challenge, right? So we've got 15 to 20 people, sometimes even less. So, but if you put a few hundred people or a few thousand people event on, obviously that's a significant commitment as well. And I think it's absolutely not reasonable to expect that people do it out of goodwill and as a hobby. And so I think people that do take that commercial risk as well, that do take up the effort to get the permits and all the other coordination that goes on with that, I think it's just perfectly fine for them to make it commercially viable and get paid for it. So the good thing is that there are so many options now. You can do a commercial event, you can do something else. You can also do your own adventure. You don't have to go and race. The trails are there. That's how 4 and 4 started. That's how Four Trails came about. The country parks are open 24/7 all around the year. And you can just go out any day and any time for as long as you like and set your own goal and challenge and objective and just go and do it. You don't have to necessarily wait for someone to put an organized event on. So, but you can. So we have the choices, and that's, again, coming back to the beauty of Hong Kong, is there's all this diversity and and all these different options. So there's something for everybody.
Yeah, that's true. And I think it's great in Hong Kong. There are a number of races actually that do things for charities or are encouraging grassroots development of the sport. So that's really great to see. Okay, Andre, I think I've taken enough of your time. So thank you very much for agreeing to do this wrap up of Jacky's podcast with me. And I hope I'll see you during the Full Trials event, if not before then.
Yeah, well, thank you, Jenny. And you've always been involved in many editions of the Four Trials in the background, and you've volunteered and offered your time as well, as have many other people. So thank you for that, and thank you for reaching out. And it's been a real pleasure to join you on the back of your discussion with Jacky. Thank you.
You're welcome. I've only joined for the last few years, but yeah, it's always a pleasure.